Giornata and welcome to my channel. My name is Stefania if you're new here. So today we are going to be getting ready, I know it's long awaited, with my 2020 favorites. So I also don't see like a lot of these changing anytime soon since I haven't really been buying makeup. So this is definitely way different than past years where I had so many different products. Like this is what I used this year, you know, like these are the ones that I reached for when I was doing my makeup. But yes, sorry, January it did not count with COVID, okay? So I know it's a little bit late, but I hope you guys are still interested in this. Without further ado, let's jump into this video. Please remember to subscribe, hit that like button, and let's go. Okay, so if I don't mention, like, I'm gonna try to mention every category. Some of them I didn't have any new favorites, so I feel like, you know, there's no point in like re-discussing them. A lot of the same favorites are still from before. So just, you know I usually do this on time. So anyways, we're going to start with eyes. I picked out 3 eyeshadow palettes. So, and I have my reasons, okay? This is definitely like the simplest, like I picked the most used products. You know, sometimes I feel like there's certain products that stand out, but that doesn't mean you get a lot of use out of them. So I picked the ones that I use the most throughout the year and that I always reach for when I did do makeup, y'all know? So first off, Supreme Nudes from Artist Couture. Definitely one of my favorite palettes of the year. I wasn't a huge fan of like the little one that had like the hot reds and oranges, even though that's usually something I like. I just didn't love the formula on that one, but this one and the other like mini neutral one, they're amazing palettes that I probably reach for more than anything else. So the other ones just felt a little bit drier to normal, but I loved this palette. Like, I know it doesn't look like much, it is a neutral palette, but I love all these neutrals. So no matter what, whether I wanted a crease in my shade or a companion palette to reach for, this was always the one I would start with. So just a lot of caramelly tones. I definitely reach for this for the neutral matte shades. And then when I was like going out on an event, I would use the Supreme Nudes, and then I would use my Mcgrath. This is the Divine Rose 2. I've said it many times. I'll say it again. I love Pat McGrath. I just wish that she would start coming out with more quads like she did a few years ago in the Christmas collection, because I would use the shimmers way more. Like, I don't really get use out of the full palette. Like, I'm never really going into this shade to deepen up the crease or anything. Like, I always reach for a different palette, and then I just reach for this for that, like, pop of glitter. Like, the colors in here, obviously we're going to use them on my eyes, but, like, they're just still, like, unmatched in terms of the quality of, like, the shimmer shades. Like, I'm trying not to buy. I've actually, like, been pretty good this year about not buying a crazy amount of stuff. And then lastly, I think I know a lot of people have issues, but the Jaclyn Hill, this palette, the volume 2, if I wanted a colorful look, I would go into these. And I'm not a Morphe fan, by the way. Like, I don't really buy Morphe palettes, but I think that this is still a great one. Again, this is one I generally reach for mattes. I don't love the shimmer formula in any of Morphe's palettes. And these are, like, the mattes aren't powdery like any of the other big palettes. So I think that this is great to just reach for when I wanted some color, and that's what it is. So those are my eyeshadow palette picks. So let's go ahead and get into this look. All right, I'm going to start with the shade Nudist and Stripped. One thing to note about this Artist Couture palette is, like, they look really light in the pan, but they build up so well. So you're definitely, like, I still think it's skin tone friendly across a wide range. I don't, like, when I first got this, I was like, are some of those going to show up? And they totally do. So I'm going to start with those just to blend through my crease. And then for brows, I will say, like, I still love my Benefit Precisely My Brow. That's definitely my brow pencil of choice. I don't have a favorite lid primer. I did use my P. Louise because I bought a big one, but I didn't really get the hype behind it. Like, it's good, but it's not like one where I'm just like, oh my gosh, if I ran out of this, like, I would rush out and buy another. So, and then the Anastasia one, it's really good. I really like it, but it's very, very white. So it's something I only reach for when I know I'm gonna, like, cover my whole lid, but it's not one that could, like, blend in with my skin tone like this one does. So it just depends on what you're looking for, but that one's great for, like, colorful looks. And then my other thing for brows was this Patrick Ta Brow Wax. I just wanted to mention it because I did use it a lot this year. So I got the tinted shade. It did start coming off the pan. You have to get it wet and then you spoolie it through. I don't know about you guys, but like, I still hate brows. I still hate doing them. I'm still like, I'm looking up to get the microblading done. I'm just scared. I also don't want like, you know, sometimes it just looks like everyone's look exactly the same and I don't necessarily want that. I just want to have a tail when I wake up in the morning. Like that's the only part that I'm always just like, ugh, don't want it. So, but the reason why I mentioned that brow wax so fast is I've been using the Anastasia brow pomade, the brow wax. It is the brow wax. It's like the gel, the Frost from the Frost collection. And now that has completely taken over like first place. Like I've used that way more than anything else, I think, the past like month that I got it. So it's definitely replaced that, and that's what I have in my eyebrows today. But I did want to mention the Patrick Ta one because I still, like, it was something I used all the time. But yeah, got a little dethroned. So we're gonna deepen up this outer crease with Transcend and then just a little touch of the shade Aesthetic. But yeah, I know this took forever, but you know, no one wants to watch someone with like a snotty nose, and I'm finally at the point where my nose is still runny, but no lasting effects of COVID, so that's great. At least that I know of so far. So, but yeah, what were your guys' makeup favorites of the year? I mean, I've definitely, like, you guys know this by watching my channel, but I didn't go crazy with makeup this past year, and I don't plan on going back to that. Like, it's a little scary because, you know, I know that that's how YouTube kind of works if you're trying to do YouTube videos. But I'm over it. Like, after I cleaned my room, I was just like looking at that makeup, the money spent, the amount of times I'd used it. Like, I just felt so overwhelmed with like guilt pretty much. Like, I was just like, I can't go on like this forever. So I am definitely on a pause in terms of like really trying to think about the releases that I want. All right, so reaching into my Pat McGrath palette, we are gonna use this shade here and then this one here. So this one's definitely my favorite. Definitely one I always reach for to put on top of any eyeshadow look where I just feel like it needs a little extra glitter, you know? So we're gonna start with the gold and put that in the outer part. I still feel like there's too many golds. You know, I'm just gonna say it, but I can't really, I'm defending it on that one shade because it is gorgeous. And I just like these with my finger. Like I said, I think this was the year where I was just like, I don't care about having the most perfect look and all the new stuff. Like, I just want things that I feel good in and that work for me. So that's where we're at. Yeah, this is the color that I'm always just like I even realized like right now, I'm just like, I did not do my nails. I meant to. That one I meant to do, but I would rather just film this for you guys anyway. So, you know, because I'm like a toddler. Like, how people do their nails, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully you guys can see that sparkle, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. For liners, Costa Riche and my Marc Jacobs. That's pretty much it. So matte Costa Riche is like this beautiful brown. I'm actually going to use it right now. I always put a little bit of eyeshadow in my inner corner. I don't do that with a pencil because my eyes are so sensitive. So that's, you know, I'll do that after. And then obviously, like, I don't have mascara because I still am messing with trying to do my own lashes. Some weeks are better than others, for sure. Not gonna lie, but I'm still enjoying doing it. Okay, so moving right along here. This is gonna be no surprise. My Pat McGrath foundation is still my favorite. Yes, it's expensive, but she has so many sales throughout the year. Like, I think even right now her website's like 25% off for Valentine's Day. And I really do, like, this is definitely one of the only times I've ever been able to say, like, I reach for this foundation if I'm doing my makeup, and that's pretty much just it. I don't really have the desire anymore to try out things. Not because I don't want to. I used to love trying things out. I just, with the way things are right now, like you can't get samples, and that's how I would never buy, you know, a full size of foundation unless I tried a sample first. So I don't have that anymore because, you know, since we can't sample it, I'm like, well, I found my baby and I'm not too worried about trying another. So this works for me. I'll be honest, I usually use my hands to put this on. I just feel like for the sake of the video, people don't like that. But I'm like, it's my hands, my face. I put lotion on with my hands. I don't know, but I feel just, yeah. Like today, I was like, I guess I'll do this. But it is like, if you have oily skin, it may not be the best for you because this does definitely get like dewier throughout the day. Like, let's not say dewy anymore. Let's try to say oily. It definitely gives you, it gives you oily skin by the end of the day type thing. So if you're someone who likes that look, I think you'd really enjoy this. If you're someone who's more on the, you know, oily side, maybe not. Definitely not a full coverage foundation. I've definitely moved away from that, even though my skin is having its ups and downs. We are still trying to get pregnant. So I had to stop a lot of my skincare. My dermatologist made me stop. So now I only have like one thing that I'm using, like some type of acid that she's like, this is okay if you're trying to get pregnant or pregnant. So I stopped a lot of like my oral medications and stuff. And so some days are good, some days are bad. But you know, it's been 7 months and I'm just like, how, this is, you know, no retinol, no nothing. How long is this gonna last? Like, we're not just about my face. We're just both, you know, trying to stay in that non-worried zone of like, everything's fine. Just taking a little extra time, you know? So that is where we are at right now with that, but no news. And fingers crossed, you know? So just to mention, I really don't use primer anymore for my like face primer anymore. I just use my Tatcha moisturizer or any type of moisturizer really. No primers for me. I don't feel like I ever reached for them that well. So yeah. Moving on to concealer. So this is the Pat McGrath Labs Concealer. And then I will use the Pat McGrath powder. So I know I don't want Pat McGrath in here. I'm sorry. But I will say, if you're going to choose between the two, definitely get the powder more so than the concealer. I like the concealer. I'm just trying to not buy a lot of like open, like things that expire fast. So sometimes like, it's not even so much like, oh, I'm like, oh, it's my favorite. Like I couldn't say like, this is the best concealer I've ever tried, but it's one that I have open. I don't know why I'm putting it. Yeah, that's all I need. I'm like, this is way more than I usually use. It's just the talking. But yeah, so this one and my Too Faced Born This Way, I love that concealer as well. I've bought that multiple times. I would say those two are my top two, especially the other one because it's such a big size that it lasts so long. So these are the two that are currently in use right now, and that have been. So I'm just trying to focus more on like not trying a whole bunch of new products. Like I still really want the Hourglass one, but because I had this one open and my Too Faced open, I'm refraining. I'm growing up in my purchases from now on, you know? That's what's happening. So I kind of let it dry for a second before going in with it. Yeah, I'm just like, why? And I think everybody goes through skin phases, you know, where they think their skin is awful. I'm not saying that. It's just, you know, I was on a good path. And then not. So, yeah, even this year, I don't think I'll ever pick up buying the amount of makeup that I used to buy. I don't find the want is there. The money is not there. But the means is not. Like, I'm totally fine with where I'm at YouTube-wise, and I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, I don't really have that like big of like, I don't need to spend money to try to grow this channel anymore. Like I've just kind of lost that. So I will still be buying makeup for sure, but just at a much lower rate, you know, or at least waiting for sales. Like there's a lot of products that I passed on that I was like, I really want that, but I'm not gonna get it right now. Like I wanted like the Fenty New, I'm just gonna go over my nose a little bit because that's where my coverage always like breaks down first, especially with the nose, the dripping. So now Dan, let's set it with this translucent powder. I can use this all over to set my face. Again, this is the Pat McGrath. This is the shade medium. And then I was shade 14 in the foundation. I do have to go a little bit darker for summer. Just know that. I know it's great to like mention summer right now. I'm watching everything going on in Texas and I have clients that are in Texas. They're just like, it's awful. And I'm like, we're hitting 80s. I'm very grateful right now to live in Arizona. I'll complain about it in like 2 months, don't worry. All right, so I will use this forever. It is the finest powder, so it doesn't give you any type of coverage. I feel like every product I'll have to say is blurring, but I will say because of the like smoothness of it, I do feel like it looks better. I wouldn't say like, yeah, no, it does a whole lot, but I will use this to set my areas that I need to. It doesn't really have to be like, you know, just an under eye powder type thing. I think I'm kind of done buying loose powders for a while. That's another thing. I think I'm just kind of like, no more. Let's finish my under eyes first. So let's go back in with the Supreme Nudes. I thought about buying, I'm going to try to stop buying, like I want to buy that Angelica like Kaleidos palette. I've never tried anything from Kaleidos, but I'm trying to like not do that. All right, we're gonna go into this one. I realize like if I don't use it, like, you know, anything that's limited edition really, or things that I'm trying to get rid of, or like realize that like, you know, they have, it's not something I could use on camera all the time, obviously, because it's not gonna be in stock. So I'm trying to use that as like a guideline. But yeah, I don't feel like I know a lot of people now who do full coverage like makeup every day, but if you're one of them, I mean, good for you. But those days are gone for me. I barely wear foundation most of the time now. Oh my gosh, I organized so much stuff lately. I'm going through my bedroom too. That is a nightmare. Like going through your closet. I don't know. I'm one of those people where it's like my wardrobe is sweats, like workout clothes, and then Vegas clothes. There's no in between. There's no casual. There's just like sweatsuits and latex. And I'm one of those people who can't get rid of stuff easily. Like I always am like, yeah, but I might use that. Like I might have a place to go with that, you know? And I'm like, I don't have anywhere to go. What am I talking about? I'm driving myself crazy trying to clean out that closet. It's been like 2 weeks and I just have piles of stuff everywhere. And we're gonna use Nudist to smoke it out just a little bit more. But let me tell you, cleaning out underneath my sink, that was an accomplishment. And then going through my makeup brushes and making sure like my desk is clean. I feel like a grown up. And I can smell my candles again, which makes me very, very happy. And then for the inner corner, I want a little bit more brightness. So I'm going to grab the Pat McGrath one, that same gold shade. And I'm still going to put a highlight on my actual inner corner, but I like to do this a little, just to have a little bit of glitter on the bottom. I just finished that Katherine Heigl show on Netflix, Firefly Lane. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like all these shows that people are like, these are amazing, and I'm like, I'm not, I mean, we don't have a lot of options right now, I get that, but still, I'm just like, oh, okay. I thought it was super depressing. Like, thank God it didn't end the way that the book ended, because I would have been really, really upset. But I still found the show, like, I was like, it's still a depressing show. Bronzer. So, I mean, I have options, but I'll say the one I use, I think this gross like stuff gets caught in here because it's a cream. I like the Fenty one. This one, though, is my favorite. This is the Tarte bronzer. It's Grace Bay. I don't love, like, the flimsy top packaging, but I've had no issues with it, and I've had it for almost a year. So, And then this Fenty brush to apply cream bronzer is really, really nice. And then the other, like if I was gonna go for a powder, I like the Charlotte Tilbury. Again though, not really a favorite. Still one I would recommend. I don't know why, I've been much more into cream products, and I think that's just a result of like more natural makeup this year. But I do really like that one, and then my Benefit Caramel is always gonna be in that running for sure. So if you're looking for more of a powder, those are kind of like the ones I would recommend the most is the Benefit Caramel. I never liked Benefit Hula, and obviously because the shade wasn't the best for me, but Caramel. And then Caramel is like very close to, I think it is Caramel Cutie from Fenty. So any of those options, and the Charlotte Tilbury you get so much product with, but I find it a little bit drier than the other ones I mentioned. So, but yeah, you guys like, because I used to hate cream products. I was not a cream product person. I love this one because it builds up. It's like that perfect texture where I can build it. Like some creams, like the Tower 28 ones were so hyped up, and when I tried it, I was like, it's kind of oily. Like I didn't love the way it applied. Like sometimes I'll use it as a topper because it has a lot of glitter in it, but I prefer matte bronzers unless I'm just like dusting it over the top. So that's my explanation. Sorry. But yeah, Firefly Lane. What else did we watch? You guys know I always want show recommendations below. I've been reading Discovery of Witches with my sisters and my mom. Well, one sister, she didn't start reading the book, but that has been really, really good. I'm excited to get back into reading. All right, on to blush. So this Lunar Beauty blush palette, if you are a powder blush gal, definitely a great palette. I like the color selection in here. Very pigmented, like definitely a light hand, but it also works for a good variety of skin tones. The only shade I don't really use is like Soleil is a glittery blush, and I'm not really a fan of that. My favorite shades are definitely these two center ones, but these blushes, they're such a nice quality of blush. But there are the swatches. You can see like they're super intense, so definitely go in with a light hand. But again, I think this is one of the few things where I'm like, this could work on a wide variety of skin tones. So if you're into powder, I would go for those. For me, again, like I said, it was a blush year, so a cream year. My favorites were definitely this Patrick Ta She's So LA. So very neutral blush. I love my neutral blushes. You guys know, like, my old favorites are still my absolute favorites. Not a lot has like really replaced those. Like Becca Wild Honey can never be replaced. Like, or NARS Madly, like that's it. If I had to choose two blushes for the rest of my life, that's it. But yeah, this comes with a nice little protector, which I really appreciate. I like this a lot more than his other blush formula. His other one, very, very sheer. This one definitely shows up a little bit more. So that one, and then the MAC Go Play blushes. So this is so natural. We're going to use this one. I will say, this is not, unless you're a lot paler than I am, it's going to be great for you. For me, I'm not a huge, like, I don't like intense blushes. So this is perfect for me. But I know that some people like a stronger blush. So I have deeper shades of this, and sometimes I'll mix it in. But especially when I'm not wearing makeup and I just want a little flush of color. And I don't go for like pinks because my face is, my zits are red. It just brings out that. So this though, it's so easy to blend in with your finger. I love it. And I recommend these highly. They are like almost a moussey texture, but they're not like liquid, I still have a lot more I'm testing out, like the Rare Beauty ones. I like those, but we're going with the most used here, right? So we're gonna go in with the powder now from the Patrick Ta one. Just to intensify that a little bit. But I'm always, neutral blushes are just my thing. These and, sometimes I'll do like an orange in the summer. So, whoop. Okay, don't hate me. I have 2 highlights, short and to the point. These Jaclyn Hill palettes, I reach for this more than anything else. And, you know, that's fine if you're not, you know, wherever you are on stance-wise, but I loved this palette, and I'm really sad that she made it. You know, I don't understand all these brands coming out with limited edition collections when I'm like, but are there going to be core products, permanent products? Because what's the point of talking about it if, like, it's going to be gone? So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that, but if she made that formula again, I really, really enjoy that. My other one is Benefit Kooky. So I also like Tickle. Tickle is that duochrome pink to gold. This is not, and when I first saw this, I was like, that's never going to work for me. Like, I was like, it's going to be way too, like, the color-wise, like, I was like, I don't like silvery ones. So, but this actually works totally fine for my skin tone. And you can definitely build it up more. Like, this can definitely be built into, like, an extreme intense highlight. But we're gonna leave it there for today. I gotta go to work, so I'm gonna use this on the inner corner of my eye as well. I hope they expand the range on these, because Benefit is not a brand, like, I have staples, like, I love their brow products, but other than that, I don't have, like, a whole lot of interest in a lot of the stuff they come out with. Maybe that's just me. I don't know. All right, lastly, lips. So this was a hard one for me because obviously with masks and everything, we didn't wear a lot, or, you know, or at least I didn't want it all over my mask. So I don't have a lot in terms of favorites because I just wasn't wearing much. For lip liners, I would say any of the Patrick Ta ones I really like. I don't necessarily love the whole angled situation. I don't feel like it makes it that much easier or anything like that. But color selection, especially in the neutral shades, like I'm a fan of any type of browns. I really like. And then my Pat McGrath, you know, I always had Pat McGrath eyeliner, like pencil liners, and those are also a favorite. So those are my 2 lipsticks. Of course, I mean, we have all nude lipsticks. So my top 3, when I did wear them, was Company Card from, what is this called? Christian Audette. And it's a little bit more, like, not super nude, you know what I mean? Like, it has that, like, extra little oomph in there. So if I didn't want to go for, like, a nude, I'd go for this one. And I really like the formula. They are a little pricey. I always wait for a sale. I've only ordered from them once, just because, you know, they're expensive. Wayne Goss, Magnolia. I actually really like the Wayne Goss formula. Again, pricey, but I reach for them a lot. Obviously, there's definitely duplicable shades. Like, I like all the neutrally shades, so I would still buy more though. I really enjoy the formula. I think it's super comfortable. I really hope he expands into more neutral lip liners, because I'm not a fan of, like, pink lip liners. It's just not my thing. And then if I wanted, like, a nude lip, Patrick Ta, Oh She's Single was my other one. I still love my Milk Makeup Cream. So there are the other swatches. So we have Company Card from Christian Audette. That center one is Magnolia from Wayne Goss. And then this bottom one is She's So Neutral, or She's So Natural. She's So Single. I hate the names of his stuff, okay? Okay, and then the other ones I was going to mention, because these are my most, like, forget the lipsticks, you know, what I used at absolute most this year was the Summer Fridays, the little lip butter balm. I like, my lips look great in this. They are juicy in this. I always hated that term too, juicy. It's like, you don't mean to start talking like other people, and then you're like, I don't say that. But your lips look like, it's not just Vaseline on your lips. And this is a vanilla, and I love vanilla scents on my lips. My lips stay hydrated. It has kind of replaced, like, I was never a fan of the Laneige lip balms. So this has been like an everyday, like, going into work. I don't, you know, I still need something on my lips because my lips will get super, super dry. So this is just clear, but Great formula. Definitely not just like a gloss, a little bit thicker, very nourishing for your lips. And then this Milk makeup, I'm going to put this on. This is the Kush Lip Glaze. So I'm going to go take a snack break before I have to go back to work. It smells like peppermint. Peppermint's not my favorite, but it has like the metal tip, so it's very nice and like cooling on your lips, and then you just kind of like squeeze it out. I do wish, I'm not a fan of like squeezy, because then I squeeze too hard, and both of them are squeezy. But I guess, I mean, I don't know what else you're going to put in here. This has a little bit of color. This is the shade Nova, and I hated this when I first got it. Like you guys saw, I think I did a first impressions of this with some other products, and I was like, it was very grainy at the beginning, like you felt little granules in there. Now that I kept it in my car, so I don't know if it melted down a little bit. Okay. But the granules melted, and now I find it to be the most comfortable, gives my lips a nice little tint of color, perfect every day. So these two are definitely like my winners of the year and what I've reached for every single day, multiple times a day. Okay, so that was it for my yearly favorites. I did put on company card with the Patrick Ta lip liner, and she's something, you know? That's why I gotta look at these. Why? She's strong. But any of the browns I really like. But yes, I wanted to make sure I had some lipstick on since it's a rare occasion. But yeah, I hope you guys still like this. I'm sorry that it was up so late, but let me know what your guys' favorite products are. What are your go-tos? What are you reaching for? What's worth like the splurge of like actually spending money on something? Like I said, I want the Hourglass concealer. That might go on when like I'm waiting for a sale for that. I want the Fenty new lip glosses, the cream ones. Again, going on a sale for that. So it's like I have a list of stuff, but I refuse to pay full price for it right now. But what is the one thing you would recommend to me that is worth that price tag? I would love to hear it. What your guys' favorites are, what makeup you've been reaching for if you are wearing makeup. I love talking to you guys in the comments down below. So I will hang out with you down there. Please don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next one.